Well, obviously, 2008 was not a good year for the Jaguars organization. Went into the year with high expectations and didn't realize those expectations. Really didn't even come close to it. On a whole, the year was unacceptable. It was disappointing, and we're all accountable. Certainly accountability is something I believe in, and it has to start with me. I think it's very important that that we learn lessons from this past year, that we continue to improve, that we recognize some of the places where we came up short. I myself recognize the need to do a much better job with my staff, and we as a staff need to do a much better job with our players and maximizing the ability that our players have and putting out a much better product. And I feel like we left some things out there in 2008. It's up to me to lead the way, show this organization the vision that I have for us getting things back in order and getting back to the postseason, which is what I'm hired to do, is to get this team into the postseason, get us back to the postseason in 2009, where we can contend for a world championship. I believe in smart, tough football. I believe in having a physical football team. I believe in having a team that can stop the opponent from running the ball and that can hassle a quarterback and harass a quarterback. I believe in having a locker room full of unselfish players, a staff of unselfish coaches, and that together we can accomplish great things. And I don't believe we had enough of that togetherness and unselfishness this year. And it's something that I very much want us to get back to, and I'm very determined to see that is the case. And we'll take a little break this weekend, usher in the new year, and then come back with a lot of resolve, a lot of purpose. We're going to have a real strong off season. When you look at the year, certainly I can acknowledge some of the difficulties that we were confronted with. Nobody could anticipate the Big Rich incident. Certainly we had our share of injuries. We took a swing and I guess you could say missed with a couple of the free agent acquisitions that didn't quite pan out the way we'd hoped. Certainly there was the incident where Mike and I had a disagreement. There were some contract issues that were part of the climate that created a selfish atmosphere rather than an unselfish atmosphere. Those are not conducive to having the type of team that I desire to have here in Jacksonville. So, and what I believe in at the core of who I am is the unselfish, team first, whatever it takes approach. And that's what I want to have here. That's what we're going to work to have here in 2009. I've met with all of my staff, and I do have a few guys on my staff that have opportunities and that have put themselves in position to have options available. We will work through that over the next several weeks and days and weeks and work out, something, a situation for us. And ultimately, I'm representing the Jaguars. I'm going to do what's best for us, and they have to take care of themselves and their families. There are a couple of guys on our staff that will be considered for some of the openings in the league, and so we'll let that play out and adjust accordingly. I think football is the ultimate team game. I think it's more about mindset. I think it's more about collecting a group of men that are determined to fight for a single cause, and that's a number one on my list. I do believe that from the time I arrived in 2003, we were steadfast and determined to become a physical football team that smashed you in the mouth, that ran the ball, that stopped the run, that harassed the quarterback, that won games. Okay, and it was an all for one, one for all, unselfish approach. And I thought we maximized that from a unselfishness last year. It was probably the best locker room 2 years ago in 2007, probably the best locker room we had. And it is my desire to get us moving in that direction again from a mentality, all right, from a mindset. I take pride in being a smart, tough, physical football team. I thought we got away from that this year. We've got to get back to it. I think we're going to need a very strong offseason, and I think a strong draft is part of that. We've got a lot of work to do, and from my end, I'm excited about getting started and rolling up my sleeves, jumping in, and working at it. So there is a mentality that you build in camp, and there's something about men sacrificing and sweating and being sore and being tired and doing it together and thinking what a miserable SOB I am for putting them through all that. There's something about that that's good for a team, and we'll make sure we get back to some of that this year.
Will you ask Fred and some of the guys who worked out away from here in recent years?
Everybody that wants to be a Jaguar will be here. That's my responsibility, all right, to provide the direction for the staff. It's my responsibility to get them back on track if I see us getting off track. And so I take ownership in that. It's embarrassing to have something you care so much about do so poorly. And there are a lot of proud men, in this organization, men and women, that are disappointed at how the year went. And we've got the resolve to get it right. And I understand very clearly it takes a lot of work. And I'm willing to do that work. So.